It's the weekly show about Pro AV with the hottest news in the AV industry. It's rAVe TV. Give it up for Steph and Gary. Steph and Gary.
Hey everyone, this is Gary Kay and Steph Beckett. Welcome to another edition of rAVe TV, the industry's only live TV show. We don't come to you live only at trade shows every once in a while. We come to you live every single week. So you probably get sick and tired of it, right, Steph? We look at it as a positive thing. They're probably like, I'm tired of this.
But you know what? You know what? We did get a message yesterday. We had our preview ISE event on the launch platform yesterday. And right as we were ending it, we ended like 15 minutes early. People were like, Gary and Steph owe us 15 more minutes.
Really?
Yes. And I was like, y'all should be happy. We're letting you go early. Like, this is when the teacher lets the class leave early for recess. And y'all are telling me that you want me to do more stuff.
Well, you know, you and I are both we're not known for having a short, something short to say. We always have something to say.
Yes.
And, look, I love doing the show with you. This is great.
Same.
We get to curate each week the news that we think is the most important thing you need to pay attention to. You know, we publish, Steph probably knows the exact number, but somewhere between 10 on a slow week to 100 on a busy week news stories.
Yes.
On trade show, it's like 200 a week.
Yes.
And so every week we focus on maybe the top 10 or 15 stories that we think are newsworthy that you should focus on. And this is all sponsor supported. Our sponsors include, as you can see on the screen there, rAVe, which is a big PTZ company that's doing some really cool. We pick the sponsors. They don't pick us. We actually go and say, hey, we're interested in you being part of the ecosystem what we're building here at rAVe Pubs. We're very selective about that. And we want companies that make cool stuff and interesting things. And Shure, of course, provides our microphones, and we use them now at trade shows. And then, of course, Crestron's the newest sponsor of rAVe TV. And if you haven't had a chance to see the interview I did with Brad Hinsey last week, he explained why they actually approached us about being part of rAVe TV. I don't know, probably at least a year ago. We just didn't have any availability at that time. So so I love doing this show, and we are prepping, as Steph put on my notes here, prepping. She used that word prepping. So I guess I have to use that word because she is young enough to know if that's the hip vibe word that we should be using today. But I am not. So therefore, if she's using prepping, it must be the word I'm supposed to use.
I think that's just like preparation. We're prepping.
Okay. We're preparation for ISE, which happens in 3 weeks.
Good Lord.
What?
I said, good Lord. How?
Okay, yes. So we have our own microsite up already. It's at ravepubs.com/ISE. If you go to ravepubs.com/ISE, you'll see all the news we're putting there now. You can see a screenshot of that there. We are, this is where we'll put all our videos. This is where we'll kind of do a little bit of everything. But you can sign up for, if you're going to go to ISE and you're interested in going to Barcelona. And by the way, if you don't have any place to put your stuff, come by our office and say hello to us. Put your bag there. ISE, if you're going to be at ISE, or you want to go to ISE and you haven't got a pass yet, don't pay for it. We got a free code. Yeah. It's rAVe Pubs, RAVEPUBS. And Steph, that gets them in free.
Yes, that gets you in free.
It gives them the manufacturer education too. Like all the classes of manufacturing putting off too.
Yeah, so that gets you into the education, but also onto the show floor for free. So that's the best part, which, everything else is not free. So might as well get into the show itself for free, because your plane ticket, your hotel, probably going to be expensive, but yeah.
So anything that you've done in the last few movies, TV shows? Hey, by the way, I just finished the TV show Lockerbie, which I really like. That's all about the Pan Am Flight 103.
Yes.
That was blown up and crashed in Lockerbie, Scotland. It was really kind of focused on one guy's plight to get to the truth of that. And of course, it did a really good job of covering what happened to the town of Lockerbie, this little teeny town, which was really changed forever. And I'm finishing Silo, I don't know if you've been
Okay.
watching that on Apple TV. I love that show. That's a crazy, weird show. It's
I've
about
never.
these people that live in underground in silos, and they're not exactly sure why they're there because they've been there over 140 years. So it's so many generations,
Oh,
they don't really remember why.
that's so interesting. I actually don't watch that many programs on Apple TV
Yeah.
Plus. My one that I do really watch is The Buccaneers, which
Mhm.
is a remake.
It's a remake of
And
what?
that The Buccaneers from the 70s or 80s.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is it
so
good?
it was, yeah, it's super good. It's about like new money American women in like late 1800s, early 1900s being married to wealthy British, like old money British men who don't have money anymore. Their families have like
Okay.
squandered it away, but they have a title. So it's kind of about that like class warfare between like new money and old money, where they need the new money to continue living the old money lifestyle, but it's still like looked down upon to marry these like new money American women. So it's super interesting. I like a little societal drama. So it's really good. And they use like modern music in it. So it'll be like all of these like really beautiful costumes from the time period, but it's like Phoebe Bridgers and like Taylor
Yeah.
Swift playing in the background. So it's cool.
Yeah.
I'm really into it. And it just got renewed for a second season. So I'm excited about that.
I got to check that out because usually with the exception of horror movies, your recommendations are usually really good. Horror
Thank
movies, I don't
you.
think you have good I think you like any horror movie, even if it's bad, and therefore I've stopped paying attention to your you're no
That's
longer
true.
my Rotten Tomatoes recommender for horror movies. But the other stuff I will pay attention to.
Wait, does that mean that you did go see Nosferatu then?
No, I did not. I am not seeing that
Okay.
movie because I'm quite sure it's terrible.
It's not, Gary. It's so good. What do you mean? What do you mean?
All right. Well, if enough people tell me online that I need to see it,
Yeah.
comment. Let me know
All
if you
right.
think I should see it.
Keyboard
You
warriors.
support
Let's get
Steph
some
and
comments.
her terrible taste in horror movies, or do you support me and doing something else? Hey, what's the deal with earbuds at CES 2025? I know Dave Danto wrote a story about this, and I think it's interesting, guys. Everyone's trying to do as good as Apple, and nobody has been able to. Like the AirPods Pro blow everybody else away from what I've seen. But did he see something new?
Basically, what he's seeing is that those wireless earbuds were really having a huge buzz at CES, which is so weird because 10 years ago, Gary, the price of earbuds were really, really high. But as things happen, more people make like similar technology, the price goes down, just like any technology. But now they're back. And they're now like trying to reinvent themselves as like these multifunctional devices with all of these new must-have gadgety features so that they become big like they were again 10 years ago. So things like hearing assistance, sleep enhancement. Oslo Sleep Buds was there. They apparently block out snoring, and like another one monitors sleep patterns and like plays tailored soundscapes and sweet nothings in your ear to help you sleep. Then there are these Chat GPT interface earbuds. So this like lets you you can walk through a city. You've got your AI.
I think that's kind of interesting because basically you have, it's like the movie Her. You have ChatGPT in your ear all the time. You don't have a computer. As long as you have an internet connection of some type, it can jump on Wi-Fi or can jump on data, and you can talk to it and it just continuously answers questions. This brings up another question, Steph, because this is something I've been thinking about a lot since because I teach advertising. I think this is an issue.
Okay.
More and more people, it started with TikTok when they put the search bar in TikTok. Right. People started, the TikTokers started using TikTok as a search engine, meaning they wanted a recipe, they wanted to go somewhere, they want to check out something. Yeah. Young people would use TikTok. So
that's what I do.
That put it right. That put a ding in Google, right? And even some people say, I Googled it, but they actually TikToked it. Well, another thing that's really putting a ding in Google is Google search is ChatGPT and other AIs, right? Because all of a sudden you're using that instead of Google, and Google's trying to join the fray by adding Gemini in their search engine. But the truth of the matter is this is the death of advertising, search advertising. It's a matter of months, maybe, or maybe a year or two before nobody's buying search words and doing search advertising on Google. So I think this is going to have a huge impact on Google. And I don't know how they're going to recover from that, because right now Google sells more digital advertising than anyone else. Now they sell it a bunch of other places too. They put it in the front end of all videos that you watch on YouTube. They put it in, web banners and things like that. But a big portion, I don't know the exact portion, but probably around 30, maybe 40% of the revenue comes from search engine advertising.
Yeah.
And AI is going to take that, and it makes it a little bit more difficult for lazy marketing people in our industry. There are some lazy marketing people who just buy search ads and because the data says they're successful, then they think they're successful, right? Or buy banner ads, and as opposed to actually looking at what's actually happening. Well, when that goes away, you're going to have to be more creative, right? You're going to have to be more creative to be able to reach people, because and I see it all the time. I'll Google, QSC, and all of a sudden a competitor will come up because the competitor bought the search for QSC.
Yeah,
that is not creative. That is not a creative marketing approach, although it does work. Right? It's sort of like low-hanging fruit. Those low-hanging fruit ideas will disappear, and I think it'll make it where people have to be more creative in marketing. So I'm excited to see where that creative takes us, because we do have some amazing creative people in our industry, and so we'll see how that ferrets out as search sort of changes in a big way. So I'm really curious about that, But Nikki, we got other news to talk about today. We got to talk about the survey. Tell me about your January temperature check.
Yeah. So every we're about to be in Kay's crystal ball season, so we'll bring that up in a second. But pre-Kay's crystal ball every year, I like to just take a big temperature check across the industry of people, what do they think are going to be the biggest important verticals this year? How are they feeling about trade shows? How are they feeling about current trends in AV? Which ones do they think are going to be important? So this is kind of like the chance for the industry to do a crystal ball moment and kind of make their guesses about what are going to be the biggest and most important things this year. So it's 3 questions. It probably takes you 2 seconds to answer. So you probably can do it in 10, to be honest. So answer that really quick. It does help me because it helps me plan my coverage for the year based on what you guys think is going to be big and what you guys think is going to be important. And we are giving away 2 $50 Amazon gift cards. So yeah.
All right, check out this new product from rAVe. It's the TR335 camera, which this is an interesting PTZ camera because it actually has 30-time optical zoom. It's 4K, of course, as most cameras are, but it does 60 frames per second. It's AI, obviously, so it has the ability to track and frame whoever you're supposed to track and frame with it. It learns who they are and where they're going, and it learns. The more you use it, the more it learns about you. It did win an Innovative Product Award, Reader's Choice Award from SVC and from rAVe. And then, it's a PTZ camera, and it has, has their presenter mode where it can tell the difference between someone who's the primary presenter, say, walking through the frame. And this product is now shipping. So check it out. TR335 is one of the products that rAVe will highlight in their booth. They're also gonna highlight their USB switch product as well, which I think is going to be interesting. I think they'll develop more on that as the market moves. I think that's going to be a big market for them to get into, because I think right now you have companies like Inogene who kind of dominate that segment of the market, right? And I think that the camera companies will start coming out with their own Inogene style products. Hey, Steph, what did you think about T-Mobile? Now, we have seen this before, like Verizon bought Blue Jeans and Blue Jeans disappeared. T-Mobile's now bought Vistar. Vistar
I don't think Vistar is going to disappear, though.
I hope not, because they're the big digital out-of-home company. You go to Times Square, you go to any of these outdoor places. Vistar has done a phenomenal job of they have the ability to put content anywhere, but they have their own network. Outdoor signage, and T-Mobile bought them. It's a huge deal. I forget how much they buy them for. It was $600 million. I think it was 600 million.
Yes, 600 million. So I think this is going to be actually, and I know that I have to be really careful about how I speak about acquisitions because there's so many that happen. And this is like a very acquisition-y, I know that that's a very scientific word, like time in the industry. I think we're going to see a lot of people buying each other out like in the next year. Gary, you can put that in your case crystal ball this year, or I will put it in there because I think we're going to see a lot of this. So I think this is kind of like a almost like a sign for how important digital out of home is going to continue to be in general, and particularly in the AV industry.
Yeah, I agree with you. It'd just be very interesting to see if, T-Mobile's not from our industry, but they are from the ad. They obviously have a giant ad network.
Yeah,
I think they want to gain control of signage, right? I mean, there's really not been a programmatic signage network. Vistar is the closest that is out there, and of course they're doing the large format stuff, but there's no reason why they couldn't get into the small format stuff, even mobile phones, right? I mean, just send content to mobile phones. So T-Mobile can provide them that path to provide a signage. People don't think about that, but I mean, one day you could go into a store like T-Mobile and they give you an iPhone for free if you're willing to have your home screen be an ad, and the ad changes, right?
An iPhone for free.
Well, I mean, that's how they finance it. It's by putting an ad on your home screen. What's that?
I said I would do it, honestly. If someone's like, here's a free phone, but every time you power it on and off, you have to watch like a 2-minute
or there's an ad sitting there all the time, right?
Yeah.
On your phone.
Fine.
I definitely think that's going to happen in the TV industry too, where you're already seeing it now, where you pause TV. If you pause it on Hulu puts an ad up, right?
And Netflix does it too.
Yeah. So
do you ever like play? So like sometimes if I'm like in a gamey mood, I'll like play a little game on my phone. And do you know the option where you can either like pay real people money to continue playing the game, or you watch like 10 minutes of ads? I'm always going to watch the ads.
Yeah. So because you want it free. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then, then you love all these social media networks are still being free, right? Like that's the thing, right? That's the question is, if you don't like ads, then you got to buy your way out at some point in time. It'll be interesting to see if that ends up what happening. Hey, by the way, speaking of buying out, DPA Microphones acquired a majority stake, actually bought Austrian Audio, and they're a really high-end audio company. As you said, there's going to be more and more acquisitions. I definitely agree with you. That's going to be a trend in our market. In other news, QSE launched the KC12, I should say, which is a 3,000 watt active line array speaker, and it's very popular. I mean, this product generated a lot of interest that Steph and I would not have realized it was going to generate over the weekend. So it's an interesting product that I think a lot of people who are like DJs would want, because it provides
that's who it's for,
house audio system, but it's portable. That's the thing that's interesting about it, is that it's a portable system, not an install. So you can use it for installs, but it's designed to be portable, and you can.
It's designed for like the solo entertainer who like comes to open mic night and brings their own equipment to the restaurant. But
it's a line array rather than just a point shoot speaker. We have a video explaining it. So let's run this video really quick because I think people will be interested in this that need something portable, like the house of worship market, live integrators that do the live rental market, things like that.
Drop it. You want me to talk? Okay, you were chewing your breakfast. So, all right, we want to talk back again about our newest sponsor and partner, Crestron. We are very happy to have them here. We had, like Gary said, we had Brad on last week, and honestly, they fit right in. Again, like Gary said, we're kind of picky about who can sponsor this.
Well, we need
show.
a lot of stories. We need a lot of new products. We need a
Yeah.
continuous feed of products, and not a lot of companies can do that. Like we had Legrand, they were doing it. They've shifted to doing something else with us.
Right.
Aver comes out with a new camera every couple of weeks. Shure is coming out with a ton of new products. In fact, by the way, speaking of Shure, before we get into that stuff, on the 29th, on rAVe TV, Shure is going to use rAVe TV to launch their ISE product. So the ISE 2025 products you'll be able to see first on rAVe TV on the 29th. We'll promote that in case you forget. But you're right, Steph. And we helped debut the Crestron Video Bar 70 last week. And I think we have a video. Don't we have a video of that?
Yeah, we have a video of that, and we're going to show that real quick, and we'll be right back.
All right, so Sony introduced, now they've had this product called Mopi, which has been in the consumer market. They have a professional version of this product now, and it allows for, it's pretty cool. It allows for body motion capture. So you've probably seen videos, Steph, where they put like ping pong balls on people.
Yeah.
And then they cover their body, you know, they're wearing a ping pong ball suit, and the ping pong balls allow them to have, to animate humans. Right. So like if a human's going to be in a cartoon or a human's going to be part of a production or something, it allows you to animate so that you can turn them, you know, in so that the movements look natural. Right. You can even put it on animals and allows you to animate animals. They've done that. Well, Mopi Pro, Sony has like a version of that. But what's neat about it is that you don't need to cover your body with ping pong balls. You only need to put this tracking device. You put like maybe 10 on your body, and it allows you to track the movements. Now you could use it for anything, but it's specifically built for humans. And there's now a professional version of it. So it allows you to take a person and put them in VR, for example, or put them in a video game or something like that. So it brings that technology that Lucasfilm and companies like that have, Disney and Warner Brothers have, and makes it available to all of us, because any camera that does motion tracking would be able to ingest that into a computer, and then you'd be able to do whatever you want with it. So yeah, it's now available. So live events professionals, check it out. It's not that expensive, like $300 or $400. Something like that.
That's actually really not expensive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about Shure again for a second. So Shure has a new mic. It is the MV7i, and this is the MV7. So this is the, like, you know, basically like the original version of that product, but the new one, you can directly connect a second XLR mic or to, you know, a mic, like to anything, to a musical instrument, whatever, so it kind of eliminates the need for an external hardware interface. And I do think that those are kind of going away anyway. I think we're going to see a lot more products like this that allow you to like bypass using a hardware interface. I do a lot of recording and stuff, and I very rarely use interfaces. And this could just be me, but I don't think it is. But yeah, so the MV7i, it has the same unmatched audio quality as the MV7 Plus. It's got onboard DSP and Motive Mix desktop and Motive mobile app integration. So basically, it is engineered for all of your 2-channel recording needs. So if you need to podcast with a guest or record vocals, record instruments, the built-in interface lets you do that and connect a second microphone into it. So it's very cool and very easy to use. I'm never going to play. I love Shure's mics, and I do think that they're some of the best on the market. So highly recommend if you are trying to, work on your podcast, do any kind of your creative recording, and you want to get rid of having to use that interface for 2-channel recording.
All right. In other news, Extron has shipped their new series of network button panels. So these stuff are designed for rooms where you just need simple control, like volume up and down, mute, on, off, input switching, simple things like that. And they're not only compatible for use in the United States, but all over the world. The EU series would be for the rest of the world. And as part of the Flex 55 product line as well. And they work with any of their controllers and any of their switchers. So you have some images there. They come in different colors. This is the white. They come in black. They come in gray. So check it out. It's like I said, if you don't need a touch panel in the room because you don't need a sophisticated control. This is a simple way of doing it. All right, and let's see, what else do we have? We have we have a video. Speaking of Shure stuff, we have a video of kind of I'd say more of a sizzle reel of how important high quality audio is in an installation and how Shure can help you with that. So let's run it.
Did you know organizations that invest in good quality audio equipment achieve more productive and meaningful work from day one of installation? You see, when you add up the benefits of using good audio equipment, like motivated employees and improved decision-making, it helps a company focus on its goals and truly achieve success. On the flip side, neglecting or opting for subpar audio devices leads to compounding negative effects. For instance, loss of productivity, heightened fatigue, poor communication, collaboration woes, and mounting frustration, all taking an organization further away from its goals. Audio plays a crucial role in interactions within mixed mode meetings. Don't let low quality audio hold you back. Let your performance shine.
All right, so let's take a look at a case study. I love to highlight a case study a week if we have time. And this one is a fun one. So this is a case study all about how Christie's projectors brought the exhibit to life, a dinosaur exhibit at the Dallas Zoo. So if you are in Dallas, I would highly recommend checking this out because this is so cool. Gary, I don't know if you knew that I'm like a dinosaur person. I love dinosaurs.
My kids loved them. My kids would like sleep with these giant sized dinosaurs.
Yes.
The
it is because
hard plastic ones.
It is because 90s kids really loved the Land Before Time movies, I think.
Yeah, that's
so
definitely right.
Yes. So this is the world premiere of this Dino Lumina Jurassic Adventure exhibit at the Dallas Zoo. So Christie 3DLP 30,000 lumen 4K resolution projectors were used to project dinosaurs like onto this exhibit, so it looks like there are actual dinosaurs there. It becomes this immersive experience from the Jurassic era. So you could feel like you yourself are in the Land Before Time or Jurassic Park.
I think we need to send Steph to Dallas for something.
Please, I would send me to see the dinosaurs.
All right. So today we are going to, Steph already has this story. She just doesn't know it yet. We are going to debut a brand new company. We'll be the first to debut the company to the world. It's a brand new company called Turtle AV. And they are going to use standardized AV over IP platforms and Dante to bring you system integration products. It's co-founded by a company, by the person who co-founded, interestingly enough, Bird Dog. And you know you like bird dog stuff.
I do.
And you know how they're obsessed with green. Well, this is also greenish as well. So it's Turtle AV, and we will debut them. So if you're interested, watch for our website, because that story will be coming out in the next hour or so. In other news, I'll be bringing you a live version of my crystal ball. This is only the second time I've ever done this. Usually you have to watch, you have to read it, but I'll be doing a live version of it. Like, I wouldn't say the whole crystal ball. I'm going to do sort of like highlights of my crystal ball stuff next Wednesday, a week from today at 2 p.m. Eastern time, which means that's 11 a.m. in California. So I'll be up by then. And then 2 p.m. Eastern would be, what is that? That's like 6 and 7 p.m., 7 and 8 p.m. Sorry. In Europe. And so if you want to catch that, you can actually sign up now. If you scan that QR code or go to launch.com, the easiest way to sign up is just go to lavnch.com and register for that. And you'll get it almost a week before anyone else sees it. So we're going to wait another week to publish it with all of the details in it, because it takes a while to proof it and then publish it and then get the images for it and stuff. But I'll give you a sneak peek of my Kay's crystal ball. We'll publish it the week before ISE, and there's some stuff in there about acquisition stuff. There's stuff in there about sort of how audio is going to change in 2025. There's stuff in there about the impact of the LED on the display market, where the projection market is now, where its sort of sweet spots are, and some other kind of, I don't want to give away too much, but I'll tell you that one of the things I'm going to talk about is the impact of the future of distribution with regard to USB. I'll talk about that because there's some stuff that hasn't been addressed yet. So I hope that you'll join me. Really, I hope that you'll sign up and let's do it live. It'll give you a chance to ask me questions. Also, give you a chance to challenge me. If you don't agree with something, go for it. And so I'm excited to do it literally a week from today.
Well, I am excited to see it. So I love to hear your predictions. You are right a lot of the time, but even the ones that are not right, I don't feel like you're like super far off base. Sometimes
I've missed it, but I think one thing I talk about this year that I also talked about in 2024 is the impact of the cloud. I feel like I'm in some ways trying to drive that. I really think this is an important thing for our industry, and I think that that's something that I'm going to talk about again in 2025. And I'm going to expose you to some of the new things too that you need to be aware of. Some of the new technologies that you probably haven't heard about. Some of the ways that AI is going to change things in our market. I'm not going to spend too much time on AI because I feel like in our market that's kind of been overhyped a little bit.
For sure.
So I think that there's a limit to what AI can do in our market right now. So I think that's something I won't do as much on. But anyway, look,
I have another question for you. Are you going to talk about the big trend right now of like every company offering services? Like,
it's part of cloud, right? This is the whole thing. This is like, you can't offer services profitably without actually having a network connected product, and that's all connected. That has to be connected through the cloud. So the thing about services is most companies are not successful at it yet. They haven't figured out exactly how to do it. And that's not just integrators, those of you out there that are doing it, but also distributors are having problems doing it, and even manufacturers having problems doing it. So I think that the market is ripe for someone to come in and sort of standardize that. And I think that we will see that in 2025. And I'll talk about that. But hey, we love doing this show. We appreciate you coming to us live. We will restream this linearly at 12 o'clock Eastern so that the rest of the world can see it. That'd be California mostly. And we appreciate you joining us.
Yeah, we do. All right. Thank you guys. Have a great Wednesday. We'll see you next week.
It's the weekly show about Pro AV with the hottest news in the AV industry. It's rAVe TV. Give it up for Steph and Gary.